A video ago, just a video ago, I began to explain the voting, the delegate, and the superdelegate definition and the position. And this, as soon as I got finished coming from dining hall, I see this video up here. Let me see if I can pull it up, what it says. It says, RNC Chairman, this is the chairman actually getting ready to speak here, contested convention process is fair. That's what he says. That is what he said. I want you to listen to me. Now, I am no fan of Sean Hannity and Fox News by any stretch of imagination. It's nothing personal. It's just that I'm no fan of him, just like I'm no fan of Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly, my personal opinion, is a stage-playing fork-tongued serpent. But sticking with the facts right here, I was literally, and I'm increasingly appalled nowadays how that these people that are part of the establishment is just flat out nowadays right in your face telling you exactly how things run. People like me, I'm just a little small country pastor. When I try to get out of here and I try to explain to people the truth, I don't care what perspective or what spirit it's in, social, political, economic, or religious. I'm brutally honest. Now, you may not like what I have to say, but believe you me, in anything that I say, you disagree with me, I am willing to do an open video debate, because I understand that many people just would not take the painstaking task and let's set up a video debate and discussion recorded live so everybody can see it. So, it won't be no unedited portions and stuff. People can really truly see the heart, because people can say anything. But I understand that today a truthful person is despised and literally hated. But he's not despised by those who are informed, only those who are uninformed. But there is a congressman or somebody from North Dakota, I think his name is Curly Hagelin or something like that. The very thing I try to tell you about the voting process, I keep telling you, listen to me very closely. Your vote does not count. And you're going to hear it straight from one of the establishment, right from his ears. And then you're going to hear the RNC trying to do some crawdadding and call it one person opinion. But later on, he's going to tell you that pretty much that the delegates are going to be the ones who are going to determine and decide, watch this, and decide who's going to be the representative for the Republicans. And I'm telling you right now, the establishment has no love for Trump whatsoever at all. What is this going to produce? I'll tell you what's going to produce: anger and hostility. Because if someone other than Donald Trump and Ted Cruz gets this nomination, someone other than that, and the Republicans decide to pull a bunch of shenanigans and just put somebody up there who literally shouldn't be there, who have not spent the time, the energy, the effort, the money in order to be elected, and they are not the people's choice, you can count out the Republican Party from this point on, because it will be so plainly in the face of the American people that I'm telling you, some way, somehow, something will get started, some coalition would get started that would actually start a whole new different party and just totally decimate the Republican Party, because these people nowadays are bluntly right in your face. So please, if I say something and it kind of shocks you and it makes you upset and your feelings and emotions cause you to get disturbed and get mad and get angered, before you fly off on the deep end, become judgmental, do some research. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. I want you to listen to me right now if you can. Listen to me. My name is Pastor Charles Dowell Jr. I have no ambition whatsoever at all to offend you. However, I know that many will be offended because they may not like my delivery. They may not like the truth that I speak, because a lot of times truth is better off pressed down and left under the surface rather than rise to the top, because people have become so used to the lie that used to be a lie. It's been said so much for so long and so many times for so long, it has now become the truth to them. But hey, I'm not the cause or nor the source of your reason for offense. If you get offended with me, that's personal between you and your creator. It has nothing to do with me. I'm a presenter of information. Your job is to actually do your own personal independent due diligence, fact check what I'm saying. And then if you disagree, make an intelligent disagreement after you've done your research. But I know what? You're going to be hard pressed to find something contrary after you've done your due diligence. You know, there's many subjects that I've heard people speak on, and I just flat out disagree. But I dare not voice my opinion because, you know, I don't want to put myself out there and come out so strong against something, only come to find out later on that I had to take a humble pill, a humility pill, and admit my wrong. I don't have no problem admitting wrong, but I've learned a long time ago how painful it is to be totally adamant and very passionate about something, only come to find out, if you're really truly going to be truthful and honest with yourself, that you've been wrong the whole time. You know what butterflies feel like in your stomach? You know what it feels like when you get a swift kick in the gut? That's a very painful experience, and I try to make sure that I don't have too many of those experiences, especially I'm old now. I'm older. You understand what I mean? I've learned from past mistakes. And I'm trying to make sure that before I adopt any position of any kind, that I am informed before I begin to speak on it, no matter how strange it may be to your ears. But it would behoove us if we exercise some self-autonomy in this generation right here, instead of getting excited and passionate about something because we personally don't like it. You're not the source or the epitome of truth, neither am I. We may all be entitled to our own opinion, but we're definitely not entitled to our own facts and then making our own truth. I understand that the rulers in the world, who are the conquerors and the one who occupy, make the truth whatever they want it to be. And there's no such thing as a lie in their mindset, because it's all about deception and strategy. But on this channel, we're going to be brutally honest. And I tell you what, even after hearing this, you need to pay attention to what Sean Hannity is saying over here at Fox News in reference to this, because he is actually telling you the truth and being brutally honest about this process right here, which is getting ready to be revealed. Because that chairman, that RNC chairman, I'm telling you, people, the vote has never, ever, and the power of that vote has never, ever lied with us. It never has. It's all a dog and pony show. It's all about contributing money in order to fund some of these people to help make them part of the establishment. It's all about keeping the economy afloat by people running around, flying all over the place and stuff, and getting more money out of your pockets and stuff. But it's a very painful thing. It's a painful reality to know that when all this circus is done, when it's all said and done, that none of our vote actually counts. It's painful. It is very painful. I know that you already are offended by listening to me now, but see, now I have modern day proof backing up what I have been trying to tell you. And I'm going to tell you this as well. If they have been deceiving you during this election process, and the information that has been given out to us allegedly in schools, be it public food system or college, then you need to ask yourself again, what else have they been lying to us about? Because I'm telling you right now, not only have they lied to us in these areas, but there are a lot of other areas that we deal with constantly all the time that they've been lying to us. For instance, I'll give you an example of how they've been lying to us about something that the Bible says that answereth all things. The Bible says money answereth all things. That's what it says. And And you know, I'm using this as an opportunity in this video right here, hopefully to stimulate thought, because I really truly want to put a defibrillator on the American public's mind. I want you to listen. I really truly do, because I know that we as a people, we're destroyed for a lack of knowledge, especially when we reject it. We are literally destroyed. All right, but have you ever read this before? Because if you have never read this before, you don't know what money is. Because this does not tell you that this is real money. This tells you that this is real money. Kasef, silver. Some way, somehow, that thing says right up here. See what it says? It says Federal Reserve note right there. See it? Federal Reserve note. We have been had. If you don't know the truth about the economic situation in this country right here, and you've been lied to believing that this is money, and you've never been told that silver is money, how can I help you in any other aspect of your life? Because chances are, if you believe that that is a lie, this truth, and you've been lied to, just like you're getting ready to be introduced to another reality or painful truth than this, then I can't talk to you on what you call religion. I call it the faith, the way. Because you're going to reject it because you have already had lies sold into you all your life. One thing about truth and what it does is it sets free. But at first, it's going to piss you off pretty bad. It really is. It's a sad thing to know that you have been believing something historically all your life, only come to find out they have toyed and gamed you and played with you. I want y'all to listen to me. Again, I'm going to say this before I put this video and connect it up here. I'm no fan of Sean Hannity on Fox News. None whatsoever at all. But in this interview, and in this case right here, he has told you the unadulterated truth. Period. Watch the posture of this RNC candidate. Listen to what this congressman in Nevada, I think it's a governor, I can't remember, Curly Hagelin or whatever his name is, in North Dakota, excuse me. Listen to what they got to say, and listen very close. You're going to find out that I've been the best friend that you've ever had. You may not like my delivery, but I told you the truth. It's just the truth straight way. Let's go into this without further ado. I'm just trying to build this because I'm trying to get your undivided attention. I really truly am. You need to really listen and find out. You and I, we've been had. So that wizard that's been behind that curtain, pulling the levers of control all these centuries and stuff, these are people that you have trusted and believed in. It's a sad situation. It really truly is. It's a sad situation. But the Republican Party can all but count itself as finished if they go and pull some of these deceptive shenanigans and these stage playing dog and pony show tricks on the American public. I'm telling you. It's utterly amazing. It's almost sickening. Well, let's go ahead and go. Here, listen to the video right here. And then chime in below. But not only that, I'm not worried about subscribers. Believe me, I'm not. You need to educate people. You need to get them these videos so they can understand and comprehend what we're up against in this country right here. Now you see the reason why I have not a lick of confidence of the voting situation in this country. I keep saying it again. You may be trying to elect, but they have already selected.
Welcome back to Hannity 2016. GOP frontrunner Donald Trump had several big primary wins last night, but if he doesn't reach the 1,237 delegates needed to secure the Republican nomination, well, could we end up with a contested GOP convention? Joining us now tonight at the Hannity Big Board to explain what that would mean is Fox and Friends' own Heather Nauert. Everyone's talking about this.
That's right. Hi there, Sean. Hi, everyone. You mentioned the magic number that everybody's been talking about. So in order for Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, or John Kasich to win the Republican nomination, one of them would need to come away with 1,237 delegates before the Republican convention this summer in Cleveland. According to the Associated Press, as of this morning, Donald Trump has to win a little little over 50% of the remaining delegates to capture that nomination, so he actually has a pretty good chance at this point. Senator Ted Cruz needs to win a little less than 80% of the remaining delegates to be the nominee. Governor John Kasich, statistically eliminated. He would need more than 100% of the remaining delegates to come away as the nominee. So, Sean, if those candidates do not lock up the required delegates, then we could be headed for a contested convention. Now, in that scenario, delegates would be forced to vote for the party nominee on the convention floor. Most states and territories, those delegates are actually required to vote based on the outcome of the previously decided primaries or caucuses. But if no candidate reaches the 1237 mark after that first round of voting, then a portion of the delegates would become unbound, meaning that they can support any candidate that they would like. If the 1237 threshold is not reached on the second vote, then even more delegates are released or unbound, and voting continues until a candidate reaches the majority needed. You got all that? So is it possible that even if Donald Trump had the most delegates headed into the convention, he could end up losing the nomination if he fails to get the delegate support that is actually required? Now, Sean, the potential process may sound very unfair to a whole lot of people, but it has happened before. Most recently, back in 1976, the Republican nomination was settled at the convention with Gerald Ford defeating Ronald Reagan. So there are a lot of ways that this whole thing could play out. We'll keep an eye on it as it evolves just over the days, Sean.
All right, but in 76, Ford had the majority. He had more delegates.
Right,
so,
right.
All right, Heather, is there a test at 10:30 tonight?
You got all that?
All right. Thank you very much. All right, and earlier today, I spoke with RNC Chairman Reince Priebus. Mr. Chairman, good to see you.
Hey, great to be with you, Sean.
Okay, this is really important because John Kasich mathematically has no chance to get to 1237. You're the chairman of the party. Why then would he stay in? Because, you know, for Cruz supporters and Trump supporters, they're saying all he's doing is preventing anybody from getting to the magic number. Do you think that's right? Do you think that's good for the party?
Well, I think that the governor can make his own decision. You know, obviously what I would tell you is that if someone gets the majority of delegates, of bound delegates before the convention, they're going to be the nominee. I mean, there's no doubt about that. So then the only question then is, and the review is very good, the only question therefore is, if someone doesn't get the majority by the time you get to Cleveland, what is the procedure thereafter? And I thought the explanation was very good, and it is fair. I mean, the reality is that you have to get a majority of voting delegates on the floor to be the nominee.
Okay, I understand that, but
a candidate does, though, but right.
If
I was just going to say,
falls short, though,
if John,
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, if somebody falls short, and they fall short because between now and, when does it end? June 7th, I think, is the last primaries. Between now and then, if, let's say, Kasich picks off 200 delegates, okay, and that prevents Trump or Cruz from getting it, they have a mathematical chance to get there, then at that point in time, then they have served the position as spoiler. Now, I just am imagining, Kasich says that would be educational, but if the establishment comes in and they try and say, well, let's get a consensus candidate, and we're to take it away from either the delegate winner and the vote winner, Trump or Cruz, they're going to walk out. Those people are going to be so angry and so frustrated and feel so disenfranchised. Don't you think that creates nothing but a disaster?
Well, I mean, that's why you have to play it above board. I mean, I can't carpet the world and tell candidates what to do and not do, but the truth is that if a candidate were to drop out, those delegates would become unbound, Sean. So you would still not be able to count that delegate as a bound delegate. So it's still up to the candidate themselves to accumulate a majority of bound delegates before the convention. So dropping out wouldn't create a bounty of bound delegates. It would simply create more unbound delegates that are basically free agents on the floor. So to your point, though, that's why it's really important for the party to play it straight, to not play games, to be transparent and say these are going to be the rules. And when the time comes that we know whether we're going to have an open convention or not, that everyone understands moving forward that the preparations are being made, everyone's included in those conversations. And when you get to Cleveland, if that were to happen, you want people to at least say when they walk away, okay, they played it straight. That's what's really important in this process.
I got to tell you, it's getting a little scary to me because I think a lot of people would feel like, let me give you an example. I want to play for you. This is a GOP official, this person from North Dakota. I'm sure you know him, Curly Hagelin, saying, oh, wait a minute, we choose the nominee, not the voters. Why are we all voting then? Listen to this.
The rule says specifically that it's a vote of the delegates at the convention to determine if there's a majority.
Voters.
Not a primary vote. Primary votes are not considered. It's the delegates' votes. The media has created the perception that the voters will decide the nomination, and that's the concept. That's the conflict here. Political parties choose their nominee, not the general public, contrary to popular belief.
We choose the voters, not the people. Well, the people choose their representative to vote. So it seems that if that's the attitude, that seems like a pretty arrogant statement. And, you know, what's the point of anybody voting then?
Well, you have to understand, in North Dakota, they don't have committed delegates. They're all unbound. So they go into the convention as free agents, and that's the mindset that they bring into the convention. But I can assure you that if you have the majority of bound delegates, you're going to be the nominee. One person's opinion can't change that. But it is true that delegates that are bound, based on the outcomes of these elections, choose the nominee. So there's a lot of word playing here, but if a nominee gets the requisite number of bound delegates, they will be, the candidate will be the nominee. There's just no question about that, Sean.
All right.
And all of these stories are going to continue, and everyone's going to have opinions, and they're going to get people stirred up. But those delegates will vote on the first ballot as they are bound to vote under the law.
Mr. Chairman, I hope you're not in this position. But if there's an effort by the establishment to try and undermine and create a consensus candidate, as John Boehner said, anybody can be nominated on the convention floor, and I want Paul Ryan to get it. If that happens, I would argue that Cruz and Trump supporters will walk out and you won't see them again. I hope that doesn't happen.
If you know what, the first ballot is going to be very important, because on the first ballot is when all the bound delegates vote.
If the number one delegate getter and the
I understand what you're saying.
The number one vote getter doesn't get the nomination, they're going to walk out if there's shenanigans that go on. That's my admonition, and I'm not saying you're responsible.
But it's not about. But Sean, it's not a matter of the number one vote getter. It is, you have to have a majority of delegates to be the nominee. There's nothing nefarious about that. You have to have the majority.
If you take it from somebody that has a huge lead, it will be ugly.